what they used to teach folks like me is that if you help folks to communicate well in your office, then they will communicate well at home. Well, that ends up not being true, because when we become emotionally upset or emotionally flooded, that part of our brain that listens gets shut off. Just does. And, we didn't realize that until we had the technology to actually look at how our brains work. And now we do. Now we have functional brain scans. And so we can see that when we become emotionally charged, we don't listen. And so when we are in arguments, we will feel like we are not being heard. And so we will raise our voice. But paradoxically, the more we raise our voice, the less we are heard. And so if we don't help people to learn how to take a break, and take a break in the middle of conflicts. Okay, I need to take a break, or I need to take time out, and then teach them time out rules. And I've got those actually posted in my one of my blog posts on my website called Time Out. The research indicates that it takes at least 20 minutes for a human to calm down once they are upset. But we are not laboratory rats. So I suggest at least, 40 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You don't want to go too much longer than that, because then it becomes harder to get back to it. And the way you blow a timeout is, number one, you don't take it. So you make up the rules, and then neither one of you follows the rules. Number two, you take it and then you don't come back to it. So it just comes, leaves hanging in the air and then comes up in the next fight. And then after a while, you've got lots of things that come up that are accumulated over time. Or you take the time out, but you don't calm yourself down. You spend your time saying, no, wait, when she comes back, I'm going to tell her this, and that, and then she'll believe me, and then we'll get all, you work yourself more, upset. And so identifying specific ways in which you calm yourself down end up being very helpful. So I do play the saxophone when I am upset, because it calms me down, and I will play my horn. And my wife, when she gets upset, we've got all sorts of gardens and property, some of them vegetables, most of them flowers. And that's what she likes to do, what I call digging in the dirt. And, so if you're driving by our house and you hear the music and you see my wife in the garden, you'll know we just had a fight. That we marry people who are different than us. And most of the time, that's a blessing. Not every conflict is a hill to die on, and not every disagreement is. And the truth is that most of the conflicts in marriage revolve around our personality differences or our lifestyle differences. And so they are irresolvable, and I think that's helpful information. My wife and I could be in marriage counseling forever, week after week after week after week. But I will still be the kind of guy that likes the window open a little bit when I sleep. And she will still be the person that wants it closed. And we could talk about that forever, but that's not going to change. We extend grace to others to the degree that we recognize the truth about grace in our own lives. If we are having trouble infusing grace into our relationship, we always have to go back to what Christ has done for us. Our spiritual growth is directly tied to our recognition of his grace in our own lives. So that's always the clog in the pipeline, frankly, with our selfishness, is not recognizing the truth of Christ's sacrificial love for us and clinging to that, and then responding in thankful obedience and having that reflected in our relationships.